एक्सेस कंट्रोल में जो पहला है, द फर्स्ट वन इज URL and cloud app. So what is the URL and cloud app? Why it given two? So URL is the all kind of URL, whether it's because you, if you can see in the category of the Zscaler, Siddhant, you will see URL have a category, right? News, social media, porn, adult, right? Every category is there. So same like cloud app. Cloud app is also kind of
Just like
signatures which available and categorized by Zscaler. But the difference is, I will tell you the difference. URL is only work with the, when I say URL port 80. So that is the basically I can say HTTP traffic. URL
yes.
supported HTTP traffic, and
Yeah.
cloud app is the thin client application based, right? So in means in your laptop there is application, lot of application, right? I can say Oracle, Adobe, VLC, right? So whatever application you want to allow or block, you will do through application, cloud application only. Okay. So sometimes suppose I have feasibility that okay, I only use the URL filtering, I will not use the cloud app. The reason is why you cannot, why it's required basically. I say Siddhant, you will be block news category BBC. Sorry, news category bbc.com is the website, right? So now suppose you haven't, suppose you have only allow use a cloud app. This is only, in the cloud app, you cannot consider bbc.com because BBC is not using their application, right? So those basically what I'm trying to say. So what I'm trying to say is, Siddhant, whatever is not 100% true that every company have a maybe website only or maybe application only, right? So you need both for allow or blocking, right? Some of the company only like Bloomberg or lot of application only given the application, right? Just example VLC, right?
Right.
So BLC only given the application, right? You
Station.
cannot
Yeah.
you cannot use BLC on the browser,
URL.
right?
Right.
Right. So, or there is a lot of online streaming platform, right?
Right.
So you can download and install, and same time they have a URL as well. So that's why both are required. You should block application as well as a URL, because of some of the companies haven't application, or some of company haven't URL, right?
Right.
So that's very important. Second point you mentioned that okay, the port is only supported by web is 443 and 80, because basically HTTP traffic. But in the cloud app, you will block whatever port supported by that application, all ports should be blocked, right? Irrespective
Yes.
of port. Okay, that's fair enough. So that's why URL and cloud app both come into same time, and in the as a function of access control, and you will use according your case. And now the next thing is that interviewer also asked this question, Siddhant. So which one take priority over URL and cloud app? Suppose I block Facebook in the cloud app, but I want to allow Facebook in the URL. So which one take first priority? Cloud app is the first priority always. Even if you are using URL filtering any action, it should not make sense, or it should be uh, not look up those things. So first action is cloud app. Until unless you will override, there is a function called to you can you can define precedence, something like that. I will show you that. So by default, the cloud app is already always on priority. So whatever application allow in the cloud app, whether it's a block in the URL, still that application will allow, because cloud app is the first priority. Second one is the URL filtering. So when you will see in the admin is something kind of object group. If you are working in the Palo Alto, you will see the object, create a object, right? You are creating the object, and that object you can call under the policy, right?
Policies. Yeah.
So
Got it.
same thing here. In the admin,
Mhm.
you will just call that until unless you haven't used that group in the policy, it doesn't make sense whether you are blocked at Facebook or allow, right? Suppose
Mhm.
you create a custom category where I want to 5 URL should be blocked. One is the Facebook, another one is Google, another one is YouTube, and tech click. So 4 URL you want to block. What you will do? You will you will go to administrator. You will create a
Yeah,
custom URL, and
I will
then
create an object. Yeah, then I
yeah,
will call into the
this
policy.
policy, this will only happen in the administrator section, and under
Mhm.
policy you will call this group when you are putting the policy, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's important one. And you will see, hope is visible enough. I'm not sure how it look like. Is visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah, by the way, I will show in the lab. So URL filter policy, right? Because we are under the policy, so you will see
Mhm.
there is the name, criteria. Like
Mhm.
criteria means which kind of policy, which kind of URL you want to block. Adult, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Adult and all, like bikini, whatever URL, action, block, and description is same, like, right?
Yeah.
And so policy is same, like every time you make policy in the Zscaler same. So I will explain this in the lab properly. Okay. So at the moment you can see I can block it under the URL filtering, right?
Mhm.
So second option, Siddhant, what you have, so cloud app control, right? So
Right.
Siddhant, you will get it two section, right? URL filtering. Second option is in the middle, cloud app, right?
Right.
So cloud app, you want to block instant messaging, right? Like Yahoo
Mhm.
Chat, right?
Yeah,
MSN. So action is
it's able.
webmail, Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, right?
Mhm.
You want to block. So basically, whatever application you want to block, you can you can use it this cloud app, right?
Mhm.
Under the now third one is the advanced, right?
Yeah.
Under advanced, I think we are still in the cloud app. Okay, this will also I need to cover. So Siddhant, once you click your new policy, okay,
Mhm.
cloud app. Suppose you want to create a new cloud app, right? You will click
Mhm.
on add, right? And
Mhm.
now you will create a rule. How to work? First one, your rule order where you want to place, right? Admin rank
Mhm.
always 7 by default. Rule name, right? Web email. Rule status, enable. Cloud app, which application you want to block, like Gmail, or which application you want to allow, Outlook, right?
Mhm.
User, you can select a rule scope. Is this finance user, right? Or you can
Mhm.
select Ram and Siddhant, only two user can access Gmail, right?
Right.
Group, any department, any location, any timing is always, otherwise you can select the schedule. How many times,
Mhm.
how many days you give the access of that policy, right? Action, allow or block. So what you will do, if you are allowing, you will put it allow or block, right? Sending email, allow or block, because this is something, you will see how you can control your that thing, right? Sending, you can
Mhm.
block. If you want to, user can see the email, that's fine. And not sending email, on control over that as well, right? Sending
Yeah.
attachment, this one is awesome, right? How you can control more, granularly on your users. So if you want to say user sending attachment is fine, otherwise block. Bandwidth, to leave it. Daily quota, so leave it and you save it, right?
Mhm.
How can control, right? You will see, it's very nice. Even I haven't seen like that you can control on a firewall, right? Siddhan?
There is no option actually.
Yeah, so this is awesome. So now go to the our advanced option, because that what I already explained you. Now here showing that how you can create the URL category, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just add URL rule. You will see here
Mm-hmm.
add URL
Yes.
category builder. So once you click on that, how many options you will get, Siddharth? You mostly will get it the same like most of the things. Rule,
Mm-hmm.
order, rank, admin, enable, status, category. Now we will in the above under that cloud app you will see, you saw that right, cloud app
Right.
option is there here, URL category, right? So we'll select whatever category you want to allow or block, right? News,
Mm-hmm.
adult, whatever category. HTTP request all. If you have any get, post, delete, head, post, push, right? So
Mm-hmm.
all whatever method you want, get and post and head is the important one, because get is always fetch data from server. Post is always used whenever you are putting ID and password, or basically you are uploading something on the server, right?
Mm-hmm.
Head means you just modify some parameters, right?
Right.
So if you, by the way, we can use the, we cannot blocking based on the header method, right? We can use all user any. If you have any specific user, you will select those. Protocol HTTP, HTTPS, FTP over HTTP, right? That you know what it mean in FTP over HTTP, right? Time is always, and which action you want to block. Allow, casual, block. Allow means allow, block means block. Casual means if you want to show the user notification. Sometime
Mm-hmm.
you will see the notification. This website is not allowed as per company policy, but if you still want, you just click on, right?
Right.
So you will give him the warning to the user, and if he is still want, then they will go ahead. So you will take a three action, right? Go, sorry, Siddhant.
Yes.
So now like same thing, they are going step by step like adult and all, right? So all
Mm-hmm.
website history is going to block.
The category we can select.
Yeah, we can say category. Yes. Now go to the advanced, right,
Mm-hmm.
Siddhant?
Yes.
We cover this. Now go to the advanced.
Yes.
Advanced policy enable new registration domain lookup. So
Mm-hmm.
sometime some URL Zscaler haven't available in their database, right? So they
Right.
detect those URL as a new URL. So if you want Zscaler look up those new URL as well, so you will enable that. Enable new dynamic content category. Yes. So these things setting basically used for new registered URL, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Microsoft 365 section where you can, what's done, you can enable Microsoft recommended one click application configuration, enable configuration, and
Mm-hmm.
tenant restricted, the configuration Office 365 tenant restriction if you can. Okay, so if you want to enable, or if you can click, here is two option, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can enable Office 365 tenant restriction. If you want to enable that, so we need to check this tenant restriction, how many things are add into this. But
Mm-hmm.
I by default you just keep it as a disable, because you are using Microsoft application, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you may be some of the Microsoft itself having some dependency with the other application, right? Like you are going to use some add-on, right, in the mail, in the Word file, right? Right.
Yes.
Okay, this is the recommendation. Fine. So Now, Siddhant, I'm going to, this one is, I think, okay, URL filtering is still, okay. So what I was saying, Siddhant, you will see now I'm going to the administrator, right?
Mm-hmm.
So under administrator, I will enable this setting. Admin ranking is enabled. Yes, this option I'm talking about, Siddhant. So
Mm-hmm.
if you disable this, the URL filtering is always uh, first thing is always cloud up over the URL filtering. But if you
Mm-hmm.
enable it, allow cascading to URL filtering. Now your URL filtering take priority. So
Okay.
allow cascading to URL. If you enable this option, that URL will take priority first. If not, then of
Mm-hmm.
course cloud up by default, right? Now, if you want to exempt some URL from dedicated URL category, you will put it right,
Mm-hmm.
and exempt some domain with SSL exception, you will put it here. And now go down. If you can go down, you will see hmm, under admin. Under admin, there is a access control also there. So under URL category, we will do what we will do. We just you will see these are the all category.
Mm-hmm.
So if you click here on the add category, Siddhant, right? Suppose you have a custom URL because that all are predefined category, right?
Right.
Streaming, radio, television. So user defined. You always configure your URL under user defined because that is the system. Zscaler itself categorize that, right? But
Mm-hmm.
most of the time we will do some kind of things with the custom URL, right? Suppose you have a company URL that is maybe Zscaler not categorize that, right?
Right.
So what you will do, you will create your custom category and allow that URL because you know that it's your company URL, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how you can create it? Suppose you want to create new URL category. So this is the object group you are going to create, right, Siddhant?
Right.
Hmm. So first thing what you will do, name anything you want to put it. URL
Mm-hmm.
category always user defined because we are
Define.
doing that. Custom
Mm-hmm.
URL will put it. If you
Mm-hmm.
want parent directory like something, if some URL related to news. So when you will go custom URL, you will put like facebook.com, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the URL you put it, not like star.facebook.com. This will
So why
not
we are
accept
using
like
that?
it.
Okay, so
Be-
Zscaler only support dot,
Gcal not
not
supported. Yeah, yeah, Gcal
Zscaler
not
not
supported.
supported
Wildcard
the
not supported.
traditional.
Like firewall,
Okay, yeah.
yes. They treated like sometime there's a lot of attack if you are putting some SQL injection and all. So maybe
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like there's a not I haven't see anything written like that. But based on my
Mm-hmm.
experience related to cyber security, so if you put it some
Uh,
skill injection, you will put it some kind of star or like that, right? Maybe they have a database maybe compromised. So most probably they use because of security reason or maybe other reason, I'm not sure, right?
mm-hmm.
So you will use your user defines super category, right?
Mm-hmm.
And custom keyword if you want, leave it everything. And your URL category should be completed.
Created.
Yeah. So, and it always, and the maximum limit of custom URL category 25K.
Okay.
If you require still more than that, you will require advanced license for that.
Mm-hmm.
You total at 25K URLs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So once you activate, so now how you can see how you can create the object group, right? Under object group, you will go into the uh, policy. You will call whatever custom URL category you called. You will go to your filtering and call that you under URL category. It will show you. whether you want to block or allow, right?
What is
Okay.
one setting?
So basically, whatever you are configuring is service forward to FTP proxy with the, because you have already FTP 21 port, right?
Hmm.
अगर आप you can see here this one. So by default, you is listening on port 80 and 443, right?
Uh-huh.
Port 53 of DNS traffic and 21 for FTP traffic. When
Hmm.
you wish to enable the service to listen for these protocol और non-standard port, you must enable this advanced setting. अब इसका मतलब क्या है कि अगर आपने मान लो, आई कैन गिव यू द एग्जांपल, आप एफटीपी को मान लो somehow you have doing some kind of netting, right? और आपने 8080 प्रोटोकॉल, ये पोर्ट यूज कर रहे हो आप एचटीटीपी ट्रैफिक के लिए.
Hmm.
So this you can enable in the advanced setting, because ये बोला कि by default Zscaler वेब ट्रैफिक को इस पोर्ट पे सुनता है, that's fine. डीएनएस को 53 में और एफटीपी को 21 में. अगर इसके अलावा if you have anything that you want to डीएनएस ट्रैफिक आपकी पोर्ट 80 पे जाए, या फिर somehow कुछ कंडीशन है 53 ऐसा कुछ पोर्ट है इस पे जाए डीएनएस ट्रैफिक, so you need to define that, right? वो
Uh-huh.
define कहाँ पे करोगे? You will go here
Advanced
and
setting.
हाँ अंडर एडवांस, यहाँ पे आपको ऑप्शन आएगा ड्रैग, ये ड्रैग ऑप्शन है ना यहाँ पे,
Hmm.
दिख रहा है ना? तो
Hmm.
विल सेलेक्ट कि कौन सी ट्रैफिक किस पॉलिसी को चेक करे, राइट? या सो हम बात कर रहे थे यूआरएल फिल्टरिंग में, राइट?
Hmm.
तो हम क्लिक करते यूआरएल फिल्टरिंग पे, तो यहाँ पे we are talking about this one, this you can create a manually as well, right? How
Uh-huh.
I will tell you like this. I'm click on that. Okay. So rule order, right? Rule name,
Hmm.
whatever name you want. Rule status should be enabled, because if you disable it, it rule is not work. Means in the firewall you will see
Yes.
kind of hide or enable disable, same thing. Source IP, source IP group will leave it. URL category, file host. If you have any dedicated category, you will put it, right? And user, if you have any, this rule should be impact with dedicated user, right? You will put
Yeah.
it the user, but leave it as it if you don't have any. Location, connect, get, head, there's three method. If you, by the way, you can select all, because this